Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Overtakes. I'm Kel, and we're here going to talk about some of the different stuff that's gone on in the Overwatch League the past couple days. Joining me is Misfit, as always.
What's up, guys? How's it going? How we doing tonight?
Not too bad. Excited to get into some of this patch, finally
Yes,
play the game again, and hopefully be able to enjoy it.
yes, exactly. I got sick of the man. It's just so slow. I
So
mean,
tedious,
last
just
week I've
shooting
been
barriers.
last week I've been just playing different stuff and messing around with things. I've been screwing with our look and all that stuff. I got it.
Yeah,
I
yeah. I
got
hope you
back
guys
into.
like the updated look. Misfit put a lot of work into it. I think it looks awesome.
Yeah, there's
He
gonna
did
be
a
more.
really good job.
I'm learning. I'm learning a little bit more. I used to do a lot more a long time ago. I actually played a little bit of Unreal Tournament this week because it
Oh.
was the 20th anniversary of the first one getting released, and that was my first first person shooter that I became obsessed with. Um,
That makes me feel really old because same. I didn't get into it until a couple of years after it came out. But it was like a year, or it was like right when they announced um Unreal Tournament 2004, was it?
yeah, that was Game of
Was
the
it
Year.
2004 or 2003?
2003 or 2004 was like Game of the Year. And
Yeah,
that
like
was so dope, that game.
whichever one it was with that, like when they first announced that, when they were like gonna basically do like a yearly release of Unreal Tournament, and I was like,
Yeah.
holy crap, I gotta try this game, and I played it and I loved it, and then it only like it grew from there, and that's really what made me fall in love with playing first person shooters. Like I'd always
And
watch my brothers
competitive.
play Doom and Quake and stuff like that, but yeah, exactly. Like I was
Yeah.
terrible at it. Oh my god, it was so
Oh
bad,
man,
and I was never
I
able
was a
to really
dick.
get like good. Um, so I didn't play it for very long, but uh,
Yeah, I played it a
Halo
lot.
was really the one that I sunk a ton of time into, and what
Yeah,
got me into competitive gaming.
yeah. I told you I used to do the underground weird LAN tournaments where I'd be like
Yeah,
running out the door with the keyboard and the like the family computer.
right.
Where are you going with the PC?
Like,
It need. I'll be back in a while. Then I come back with like $200. Oh, okay.
all
Okay.
right, you can do that more.
Yeah, I have to do work on that, but if you're gonna bring back $200.
And then it's I'll allow it.
That was a fantastic pickup. Overrated. Doomfist overrated. DF. Um, smart pickup too. Um, Young. That was one of the things that happened this week. We're gonna dive into some of the stuff. Obviously, Young is a coach for Dallas assistant with Element Mystic. Jumped over to the Fuel, and I think that's gonna help them a lot when they're integrating some more of these Korean players and things like that.
Yeah,
It makes sense, and they uh, they needed that extra step. I think what they were doing last year worked okay. It didn't work fantastic. They were better than they were in season one, but
I mean, for me, I really can't really talk too much about the coaching changes and stuff. I know there's been like really head coaching is about the limit I have. When you start getting into like the assistant coaches, minus like a few big names like of former players or streamers that we knew. Like once you get into those, I'm like, I don't really know who this person is. I'm not 100% sure what they're gonna contribute. I mean, there's definitely some things we can look into and kind of see their track record of where they've come from. But yeah, like
I mean,
I
look,
just don't have enough knowledge about that type of thing to really
I mean,
have a valid opinion.
I don't have too much knowledge in the tier two scene. I do know that Element Mystic basically never finished lower than second in anything they've done.
Yeah.
So that's a good voice in the room.
Oh, definitely.
Um,
No denying that at all.
but we're kind of like creeping. Well, actually, we're not even creeping. We're at the end of the off season, guys. This
Right.
is this is the, I guess, whatever you want to call it, the final little bits of player transaction and all that. And
Player transactions. Everyone's finalizing their rosters. They're
yeah,
finalizing their coaching staffs, and now
they're all
they've
boot
got
camping.
basically about a month
Yeah,
to really prepare for the season because that's about all we've got left.
yeah. What do we got?
I
Like
mean,
6 weeks?
technically it's 2 months, but like really,
They'll probably take off a
if
couple
you
weeks.
Yeah, I mean they're probably going to take a week or two off for Christmas and New Year's. But then you also have to factor in the fact that they're all going to have to travel to a different place of where they're
Yeah,
probably at right now. A lot of these guys are moving to the cities that they're going to be playing in. Like I know a lot of the New York guys have been posting photos of themselves and all their new setups in their
yeah,
new cities. A lot of these guys are moving to their cities, so
yeah,
it's
exactly. And
becoming more real.
exactly, it's it's here. It's upon us. It's all that whatever you want to call it, and
Right.
everybody's. It's contrary to what kind of some of the stuff we were kind of thinking with the globalization. Thought maybe some teams would be sharing facilities, but they're all basing out of their own home cities, even if they're there for 2 weeks or not. I mean, maybe to
Right.
start, and then when we get into things, we're going to know more about that. But that was one of the things that happened this week. Also, LH Cloudy got picked up by the LA Gladiators, and
Yeah.
Panker is now not on the team, so they got LH Cloudy as a backup for OG.
Hmm.
I think that's a good move.
Yeah, it's a
He's
good,
proven
solid
veteran,
backup. Yeah.
solid backup. He could possibly fit in at different places, where OG might not be as good.
Right.
Um,
I think
so
he, yeah,
I
it's
think that was
like
a
he
solid
kind
move.
of fits into what Oj is weaker at, and like can fit in different places if they decide to do maybe there's one weekend where they want to send just uh like their B team or whatever
Right,
to
and we're going to see
China
that.
or yeah, and it is absolutely going to happen. There's going to be at least I feel like every team's going to have at least one week where they're going to be like, we don't want to have our main roster fly from Washington D.C. to Guangzhou and then fly back to go play in Vancouver or something like that.
Yeah, or if
Like,
they're doing that West Coast swing, and then they got they're one of the teams over in China, say,
right,
they're playing over there, and they got to do like a San Francisco Vancouver thing. They might not send their whole roster.
right.
That's a lot of
Agreed.
money.
Oh, for sure. It's crazy.
And I mean, it's different than like the NBA or like baseball, like when they travel and they do we're going to do the West Coast swing, and it's
Right.
a week. You're talking a month.
Yeah.
Where you
Like
got to
you're
put these guys
there.
up and feed them and all that stuff, and find places for them to practice, and
Mhm.
it's going to be
And
interesting.
mind you, that these guys are not making like these players and teams, and just overall, they are making a fraction of what any professional sport
Yeah,
is making.
I mean, it's a work in progress. We're going to see what happens.
Yeah, for sure,
But
and that'll be down the line. But as of right now, like a lot of these teams, like they're trying to figure out these logistics and all of that. It's
yeah,
going to take a while to really fully adjust to how this is going to work.
oh for sure. Um, I mean, we had that. I mean, it's been slow, but the thing, one of the big things of the week are the two big retirements.
Yeah,
One I think is permanent. One I think is meta dependent.
yeah,
um, so let's talk Jake first.
yeah.
I mean,
So as far as Jake goes, I do think that this is a permanent retirement.
yeah,
I felt like the writing was on the wall, pretty much by the end of season 2. Anyway,
yeah.
I'm a little surprised that it took as long as it did,
Well,
but at the same time, I can't be all that surprised. I think he,
I wonder if it had to do with like the length of his contract and all that stuff. Like when it ended. Like
yeah,
because he probably got signed what October.
well, I think there was definitely like a cutoff date or whatever, but I think he just kind of he probably just wanted to weigh his options once everything had kind of settled down, and he probably realized like this is going to be the best move for me.
Yeah.
I mean, he said he wants to focus on his stream. I mean, he's been streaming a ton the past couple of weeks, so
Right.
I'm not surprised by that. But at the same time, that's definitely not. I will
That's not
be
the- yeah.
shocked if that's the only thing he does. I just don't see it happening. Like there
Yeah.
is like a 0% chance that's the only thing he does.
Oh yeah, I think
He'll be casting for
somewhere
sure.
contenders. Maybe to start. They're going to need more,
Yeah, there's going to be definitely more opportunities,
especially if they
where they're going to need more casters, because there's going to be. I
eight
mean,
more
there's going to be
teams.
two different. I mean, every weekend isn't there two different locations where these
Right.
are happening? So you need, and then you're going to have like 4 to 8 different teams, depending on the location and not in the matchups and everything that's going
Right.
on. So there's a whole lot of different things that are going to be happening with that.
And
So
I'm wondering whether or not they're going to have, like, not permanent, but like stationary crews in mainland U.S.
mhm.
guys that are over in Korea / China, and you know what I
That would,
mean,
yeah, that
continentally.
would be my assumption. Is there's probably like I feel like the Chinese and Korean one will probably be like every weekend. Wolf and Achilles will probably be the
Possibly
main
even
guys that are doing the.
Doa and Monty could be over there too because they're familiar.
Yeah, I could see that. I would be shocked if it's not if Wolf and Achilles are not like the primary ones that are going
Yeah,
to be over for those ones, just because they're so familiar with those the areas and doing Korean contenders and all that. But yeah, so and I'm sure there's more broadcasting
yeah,
announcements to be made because they can't just run with what 4 groups.
yeah. I mean, they
I
could.
don't think that's they could,
Yeah,
but that's a lot to put on
yeah.
just those 8 guys.
It is. But as far as Jake goes, I mean, I always liked the dude. I think I thought he was a great player. I mean,
Oh, absolutely.
he's one of the things like I kind of like he did the retirement thing, and I was kind of like, hey, look, man, you're one of the guys that got a lot of us excited about,
Hmm.
you know, Overwatch when you played. You know, when he's plus he's a good dude,
Yeah, absolutely.
and his
Well,
Junkrat's
that's
filthy, and I always got to respect that, man.
yeah. Oh,
But
definitely.
his
I think one of the big things, and we talked about it a lot, and we were some of the first people that were really saying it, even at the very start of the league, that I really truly hope for his sake, for the sake of the health of the league and the health of all the players, that he really strongly considers forming the players union.
yeah,
That
or
will inevitably
association or
happen.
whatever they
It's
need to do.
gonna happen at some point. Um,
They
unless the
need it.
league folds, like barring the league folding. But like as long as the league is going on, it's going to happen at some point,
Oh
and I
yeah,
think sooner better than later. And especially with all the travel and everything that's going in, and all the contract talks and everything that's going to be happening, I think it's becoming more and more important for them to do that. And
oh
I
yeah,
can't think of a better person to be the head of that than Jake. And we said it from the beginning, like
yeah.
with just
He's the
how well spoken he is, how well he really carries himself, and
he's a
how
smart
thoughtful he
dude
is
too,
about that too.
and he's smart. He knows how to speak, and
Hmm.
I think he's one of those guys that's gonna bring like a legitimate face to something like that.
Yes.
You know, you could there's other guys you could throw in there, but I think as far as like who you want to represent you, he is that guy.
Hmm.
I mean,
And I don't think, and I think with him is like, I think a lot of guys would there'd be hesitant, just because like, oh well, he's just gonna like with some other players there might be some hesitation, like if it's like one specific like a specific Korean person, for instance, like they're only going to look out for the interest of the other Korean players, or vice versa. Like
yeah, the
someone
NA
else
players.
from the U.S., they could be only looking out for them. But I feel like with Jake, he's going to be looking out for the best interest of all players,
Right.
no matter where they're from. And I think that that's really what they need.
Yeah,
Um, and I think perfect for it.
he's one of the guys that has always cared about the game
Yeah.
and cared about the league and cared about like even on his team he cares about that. Like when he was there,
Mhm.
that's one of the things that I slam on we slam on the Outlaws, but that's it's neither here nor there.
Right.
He is a guy that no matter whether you like the team or not, you respect the dude
Yeah.
for his
Absolutely.
play and for his attitude and for just the way he is. He's going to
Mm.
be a guy that's going to be missed being around, I think, and especially in Houston. I think that's going to hurt them a little bit in the locker room, so to
Mm.
speak. I mean, they have a lot of leaders on that people that can step up and be leaders on that team. But Jake is, I mean, he could still be around there,
But that's a
which I'm
powerful
assuming.
voice to lose,
Yeah.
for sure.
I'm
I mean, he
assuming he's
was
not going to be
basically,
far away from that
yeah.
scene.
I won't be surprised. I think he might have to distance himself depending on what else he does,
Right.
simply because of conflicts of interest and
Yeah.
all that, but
But
I mean,
I wouldn't rule
yeah.
out seeing him at the first Houston homestand.
Oh yeah, I'll be honestly, I'll be stunned if he's not there.
Motherfucking Junkrat 1-on-1 with Bren.
Yes.
That just means we
Oh
get Bren
man.
in another outfit.
Oh god.
As long as they
Yeah.
bring that dude that made the rip tire.
Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked if they somehow have Ren riding that.
Oh yeah.
One of them.
He's about as crazy as the dude that made. Oh, by the way, speaking of that guy, not a side note, he made a land speeder.
Yeah, I saw that video, or I saw that he was doing something like that. I just saw like
He built a
the
land
clip on
speeder with a
YouTube.
fucking jet engine on it or something ridiculous.
Oh my god, that guy's a nutcase. I love
Yeah,
it.
but if you guys haven't checked it out, just look up real rip tire.
Yeah.
He
Oh,
made,
I mean, it was plastered all over the
Yeah, all over the
launcher and
Overwatch
everything,
thing.
So if you guys didn't see it, I don't know. You probably haven't been
Yeah.
playing the game.
the first one was good. The one that he launched off the motorcycle
Yes.
was insane.
Ridiculous.
I wish I had those resources, man.
No kidding.
I mean, I grew up redneck, but I didn't grow up Australian or whatever he is, Scottish redneck with money.
I believe he is. He is definitely Australian.
It really seemed like he was like in England or Scotland or something like that.
Yeah,
They would just-
the place he was around, or the place he looked like it was England or something like that. But
Okay.
his accent very very much screamed Australian.
It was
But yeah,
perfect though because he was like junk making
Yeah.
a junk.
Oh,
All right,
absolutely.
let's move on to the next one. All right,
Yeah. So the other
Jake's
big
gonna be
retirement.
missed. But
Yeah,
go ahead.
for sure. But other big retirement is Big Boss Pine stepping down.
I'm kind of sad about that. I was kind of
yeah.
sad that we didn't get to see him. Well, the meta just played him out last year.
It really did, and it's a shame because he was such a fun player to watch for like
Yeah.
the minimal times that we really got to see him. Because even when he was really playing a lot, he only played like what, one maybe two maps a game when he
But
was
still.
at his peak. But it's still like it was just
still,
so much
he
fun.
was in
You're
there,
just
man.
like,
You
oh man, here comes Pine. Like this is it. Like it was almost like a wrestling thing. Like
Yeah,
it just
He-
got to that hype level and that
Yeah.
just over the topness. I loved it.
yeah, I loved
Uh,
it, and he just. Plus, he was always fun on stage,
Mhm.
and I'm sorry, that dude made some sick plays.
Oh my god, absolutely. I mean, he was really what started off the big hype for me. I'll never
Yeah.
forget that first night of watching the league and being like, "This is pretty cool."
And then he
Pine
went-
comes in on Ilios and just slaughters everyone on Houston, and you're just like,
What the fuck?
"What
Yeah,
just
exactly.
happened?" Like,
And
holy crap! Like this guy is just pulling off shit that no one
And-
has any business doing.
and I know there are a lot of good Widowmakers, but his flick shot bullshit off the off the grapple things and all that
Yeah.
were just ridiculous.
Disgusting.
And then,
But
of course,
I don't know what was more enjoyable, his Widow or his McCree.
Yeah. I don't know. Watching him play Widow though, like a couple of times he would like one time. I forget who they're like. One
I don't
time he
remember
like
who they were
flanked their all the way back to their spawn room and was like behind him.
It was on it was on Junkertown, second point. He flanked like completely behind
Yeah.
and got like I think he got at least a triple kill. I'm pretty
He
sure
might
he
have
got
got
a
four.
4 kill.
Yeah. But his flanks are just like we're like
And they finally killed him, but it was just like, well,
okay.
well, your whole team is dead. Like,
Okay.
what are you
I'll
gonna
take a
do?
4-for-1.
Right.
But I mean, it's unfortunate. See, and this is one of those things about game balance that bothers me with Overwatch.
Yes.
And it's nothing to say that the way the game is played and all that stuff. Pros and high level players play what's broken,
Mm-hmm.
and if you're not going to balance what's broken, your DPS players are all going to retire.
I mean, so on
To an
the
extent.
like, yeah,
I mean,
and I totally understand that. Like,
That's kind of like a little bit of the mentality I have with it. It's
Yeah.
not all of it. He wasn't getting playing time. Was he
there
the
is
best
more
player?
to it than that for sure. But
Yeah.
yeah, like I am with you in some respects to that, just because like, but like that, like they've said, it is an art. Like, it is not
Yeah.
just like looking at the numbers. Here's exactly, but because like you've got so many different factors. You've got it's just insane how much goes into all of these like
Oh
things
yeah.
that like
I mean,
none of us can even really comprehend. And sometimes even things that they can't anticipate, like they make one change and it just snowballs into these other things working
well,
because
like right now.
when you change one thing, it changes by just changing one little thing can change the balance of 7 to 8 different characters, all with one simple little
Yeah.
change to one other character.
And I'm not knocking the pro scene
Yeah.
or higher level players for playing
Oh yeah. I mean, you got to play
exploiting what's
with.
broken. I mean,
Yeah.
that happens in every sport, game, whatever you play. If the rule
Yeah.
is broken, you are going to exploit it.
Exactly.
It happens in football, basketball, baseball,
Mm-hmm.
probably, in LOL, CSGO. Name your game or sport.
It's just much more predominant in
Yeah.
esports, simply because like so many like other sports like they've been around and established for so much for
The
so
rules
long.
don't change.
It's really, the rules aren't like drastically changing like they are in a game like
Well-
this because they have to change things because they don't want the game to get stale.
Right.
And that's really the big key.
Well, the other thing is like in football, they're not adding a new position.
Right.
Like, it's not like, well, I mean, I don't know how to equate it. Like, you're adding new characters in with new kits and new abilities. I mean, that's like adding, okay, we have a flex wide receiver that can throw the ball, block. Oh, and wait, well, you can do all that anyway. It's like letting people in soccer touch the ball.
Yeah.
I
But then
guess.
like sometimes you can't, sometimes you
Yeah,
can.
but this new position can do all of it
Yeah, exactly.
on a 3-second cooldown.
Right. Yeah, so it definitely
Every 5 seconds, you can touch the ball. Oh, that's
So-
way OP. So we're gonna back that down.
it sucks for guys like Pine. I mean,
Yeah.
one broader issue that I do understand that people have brought up is like he was kind of a victim of like the game really not being as much of a shooter anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
And
you might see him turn up
I
and
get that argument, but I do think that the shield nerf is going to have a big effect on that. And then probably whatever other challenges or whatever changes we get with the next patch. I do think we're probably going to get some more pretty drastic changes coming in the next patch that are going to address some of the other things that still need to be fixed. But like, I mean, this is a good start. Yeah, Reaper. So I do think that that's going to have a big impact. But as far as like, I mean, he was 100% a guy that is just like,
he brought
he is just
excitement.
a god
into the room.
at that, like those flick shots, those like high skill first person shooter elements that unfortunately have been kind of negated with a lot of the decisions and stuff. And I think that's something that they're trying to go back towards, is having that bringing back that high skill ceiling to the game.
Well, and also I think they're doing a lot of stuff too that they're doing right now because you can't, like, last year they lost rings with goats because I mean I found goats intriguing to watch.
Right.
Average guy, there's no Pine coming off of the grapple behind the enemy team and getting a 4 kill and 4 fucking flick shots. There's none of that. It's okay, we're waiting for grab. What's this guy gonna do? All right, is the diva gonna eat the grab? There's people don't give a shit about that. It's like in football, a defensive battle that's 17-10 going down to the wire with two teams grinding it out. People get bored by that shit. What do they want? They want that 49ers Saints game on Sunday where I went down to the wire and they were fucking going back and forth, throwing the ball all over the yard.
Either that equivalent or like anybody that doesn't truly like love baseball probably doesn't give a shit about a pitcher's duel, but anybody that's like really into it like understands the gravity of it. But like to the outside fans, they're just like, I want to see them hit the ball real far, but no one's hitting the ball.
Big guy hitting the ball out. But it's
no one can even hit anything that these guys are throwing. What the hell?
Well, basically, right now, what has happened is Overwatch started out as the NBA in the 80s. and it's progressed into the 90s, and we're in that portion right around when in the early 2000s when Ben Wallace and those Pistons teams, and it was 78-76.
Right. Those like
Nobody
just
watched
hardcore
that shit.
defensive games. Like, I mean, you had maybe one guy that could take over occasionally,
Yeah,
but
Kobe.
like Kobe or Allen Iverson or something
Yeah.
like that. But like for the most part, it was just like just grind it out, and that was it. Like, just here it is. And now
Like the most memorable thing from that probably decade of basketball was the Malice at the Palace. And that had nothing to do with basketball.
Right.
It was the two teams that beat the fuck out of each other.
Like, I think it was that year or the year before that they eliminated hand checking.
It was that year.
Yeah.
I was living in Vegas. People were betting. They're like, "Oh, they're getting rid of hand checking. Bet the over." I wouldn't go that far yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Give it a couple of years, and then you get the 7 seconds or less Suns, and that's where it would all really change.
But I think there's a chance he could come back with Yoke or someone else. I also think you might see him in a different game, too. Now, this is throwing a weird scenario out there. He's still fucking around with NYXL and Andbox. What about the new Call of Duty?
Yeah.
I mean,
that's a really strong possibility.
Like the Riot one, Project A.
Yep.
Those games are into the AIM. They want because Riot said they want to be like CS:GO and Overwatch. Okay, right. So you got a guy like Pine with this kind of fucking psycho aim. Give him some kind of flick shotting character in there, or hit scan in general.
Well, yeah. On top of the name that he already has and the draw that he could bring, like
exactly, it would
be stupid for them to not try to bring in a guy like that. I mean, it depends on how far off that game is, but right. I would not be surprised if
he's
if
not that old though. What's he, 19?
On Andbox's Call of Duty team. He's probably like 19 or 20.
I mean, they all play Call of Duty.
Yeah.
I mean,
very true.
I'm assuming. I mean, you're a fucking gamer. You're playing first person shoot. I didn't play it because I never played Call of. I never got into it, but I'm too busy waiting for everything to drop from Blizzard.
I haven't played a Call of Duty game since Modern Warfare 2, but at the same time, like, I have no interest in going back to it, and I don't know. It's just not my thing anymore. Too many pros.
Oh yeah. If you think CS:GO is CS bro, Modern Warfare takes that to another level.
Oh yeah.
But that's.
Right, I think that's about all we wanted to discuss.
Yeah, that's really what we want to talk about. We want to talk about Pine and Jake because honestly, for me, it was watching them in season 1 was the affirmation of Jake was great. People forget about how good he was on 76 because 76 actually was relevant.
Very briefly, but he was still relevant.
But there were some moments. These guys are part of the things that got us. We were in from minute 1, but that made us kind of go, all right.
Yeah,
this is legit.
I'm totally sold. Yeah,
this is legit because you have guys like Jake with the Jake rip tires, and you have Pine with his fucking shots. I mean, it's sad to see them go, but I kind of understand it in a way. It's like the game hasn't passed them by, but Jake is moving on to other things, and Pine just got meta fucked, and he hasn't played professionally on a stage. Like he played at the All-Star game, and that was it last year. So he's probably rusty as hell.
I think he probably got 2 maps.
No, he got none.
He got no maps the whole season?
Nope. Not one.
Damn.
Yeah, I know. That's a strange thing.
That's insane.
But I think that's going to do it for the chatty portion of tonight.
Yes.
We're going to... this is an odd question. I'm sorry. So, did they change the snowball fight? There's an achievement to catch the snowball.
Oh. Well, I don't know. I'm going to have to boot it.
We're going to have to find out.
Yeah.
May deathmatch. Yeah, because I didn't know if you... I don't know. We're going to find this out, guys. So, stay tuned. Take a little break. I'm gonna fuck around with technical stuff, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna play some Overwatch and see what skins we don't get.
Yeah, right.
That being said, the Doomfist one is awesome. The Doomfist one I think is my favorite.
So good.
And the Sigma one. And fuck Mercy getting another skin. I don't care. You guys can fuck that. She just had an event.
Right.
If you're gonna do like the ugly sweater thing, can't Anna have one of those ones like your third grade teacher had, with the fucking candy canes and shit on it? You know, like the fucking.
Oh man.
I can keep going. I can make holiday skins for days.
Same.
I came up
Holiday
with
and Halloween. Like
yeah.
I can make both of those.
I mean,
I can't draw for shit, but I'll give you ideas of what to do.
Yeah. Why Junkrat and Roadhog are not Snow Miser and Heat Miser is beyond me.
Yeah.
It's an easy fix. Soldier 76, we've said this a million times. Give him the John McClane skin, for crying out loud.
Yes.
Because we all know it's a holiday movie.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Ed and R.
Ed, it's a Christmas movie. Takes place at a Christmas party. It's not revolving around the holiday season, literally at a Christmas party. And I'm going to go see the musical on Friday night.
Yes.
Yippee-ki-yay, a holiday special or something like that. You guys will get a full report on this. And if they do not have a song that has Yippee-ki-yay motherfucker in it, I'm hoping it's with the Ode to Joy in the background. I got this in my head.
So good. Yes.
But, yeah. It's a holiday movie. It's a classic.
For sure.
All right, guys. We're going to take a quick break. We will see you in a few.